Okay. Well, looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this final group stage of the DSEA League of Legends Spring Competition. Last week we saw the roundup of the Plat Plus brackets. Today we're going to be watching the roundup of the Plat Minus bracket. And for this last epic game of that group stage, I am joined this time by Quinn Cubicle. Quinn, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely amazing. I'm very glad to be here. It's an honor to be asked to cast on the Esports Delft channel as usual. I did cast one of the games a week ago on my own channel because I find it very fun to cast, but being able to cast on the main channel is obviously even more exciting, and having it being alongside of you makes it only better.
Thank you so much, of course, for joining me on this final game here. Last week, we did see you with Purple taking a little bit of a loss, but hey, I think you fought valiantly. So we won't be seeing you in the quarterfinals, I'm afraid, but or the semifinals, in fact. Of course, you are always welcome to join me or other people on the caster desk here for those matches. The teams should be ready to go within a couple of minutes, so we have that much to talk about. And so I quickly went over the teams for what they play, their play style and stuff. And I didn't see that much oddities. The team Smelly Man has a tendency of going for a little bit more oddball AD carry specifically. Breaking Bard is not always play the most meta things, but he has a lot of fun on trying to.
I love that.
And on the other side, something that stood out to me was the Pike mid from Soundless Esports. So who knows? Maybe we get to see that. I know our resident Raymond is always very excited about that one.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, am a big advocate of thinking outside of the box, and I think Team Smelly Men is definitely one to do so. So I'm very, very curious to see what we will be seeing today during these games. If indeed Breaking Bard whips out some weird off-meta champion or build, that would be very exciting. So I hope to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and for everybody who's been watching MSI today, some very exciting games happened there, but that's going to be nothing compared to this, of course.
Absolutely not. Come on. Who cares about the big leagues, you know?
This is where the real stuff happens. Yeah.
This is where the real stuff happens. Exactly. And when you're watching games of near perfection, there's just not much to relate to. But seeing a high class clown fiesta, obviously, it's pretty easy to place yourself in the shoes of the players, which makes it all the more enjoyable, in my opinion. So.
Okay, I have given the ready sign. I also have got intel specifically from Team Smelly Man that they have some bangers prepared. So
I heard that as well. That's what we're curious.
What they actually get going with. They should be heading off to Champ Select shortly. And actually, I know that you are within the DSEA a little bit of the draft king here, right? That's you gave a competitive gathering the other day about drafting. So I really want to hear you go in depth into the picks that we are seeing and then theorizing.
I really wonder. I was thinking about that beforehand. How deep should I dive into it? Because of course we are talking about some teams here which, will rely probably a lot more on comfort than actual. Necessarily counter picks or whatever. So I don't know how deep I will dive into it, but I will entertain the thought of advanced level drafting and see what we see, I guess. But yes. It looks like we're heading into it immediately.
Yeah, the first bans have already come out, so let's see what those are. Those are Pantheon, Senna, and then Evelyn. Likely all focused towards comfort picks.
Probably. I honestly am not so sure what each player's comfort picks are, but usually with the bans, especially on blue side, generally they are targeted more towards comfort picks. Red side bans usually would be the most OP picks, generally speaking, so you don't get them picked away from you on the first pick. And we see Senna and Leona bans. And we see a Nasus and Evelyn ban. I always find it very fascinating to see those kinds of bans in the first banning rotation because generally speaking, it's kind of suicide to pick those sort of champions before the second ban phase. But you know what? It's interesting, and we see the immediate Nunu with a lock-in. That makes me insanely excited. I absolutely love this champion. I adore playing him. I know he's not fantastic, but walking around all joyfully with a big snowball in your hands is just, I mean, it makes even the worst days go good, you know?
Definitely. The Rumble lock-in on the other side, that's probably going to be a jungle Rumble, if I'm correct. That's generally what is the meta anyway.
Yeah, Rumble is just a general, really strong champion. I think he can fit into 4 roles, maybe even 5 roles if you really want to. And Nautilus picks on side of it. Team Smelly Men doesn't seem to be putting that much real thought into their picks, and I'm judging that by the speed at which they are picking these. I think they just had their champions in mind and are just deciding to go with what they prepared. And, that's completely fine. Let's see if Soundless Esports tries to get an edge by actually reacting to what Team Smelly Men is doing.
Yeah, I think also the Quinn pick coming out, of course, because of you. Honestly, I think that's also breaking bar in the chat coming out with the heart for you as well. So
I can't believe that.
Okay, we see Soundless Esports actually looking in the Mordekaiser for the top lane.
Morde is supposed to be Yon. Actually, it says in the chat. Morde was supposed to be Yon. I think they clicked it too late. That's the problem with Pro Draft. It doesn't have those extra seconds that you're used to when you're client drafting. But that's fine. That's so strange. So Anivia ban, I'm very surprised by, personally. I don't know if Team Smelly Man plays that, but Anivia notoriously one of the biggest counters to Nunu. And also not that great to have on your team with Nunu, because you can just accidentally screw over your Nunu really badly if he snowballs into the Anivia wall. And I've had that happen to me many, many times. So it's actually really a true counter. But let's see. Soundless Esports now looking at an R5 spot. They have Rumble, Nautilus, and Yon. I would say very well-balanced comp. And I think picking Urgot here does make quite a lot of sense. Team Smelly Men is looking to go forwards with the Nunu and the Yasuo follow-up. Right now, they are looking at a fairly dive-centered comp and then having an Urgot, which is really good at that short, low range where the dive champions will come into, is very logical. But we see an Annie and a Blitzcrank pick.
Yeah, I think this was a thorough effort to avoid any form of synergy.
Yeah, I think so too. I really believe that Team Smelly Men is trying to draft the most nonsensical comp they can come up with. Because honestly,
Blitzcrank is a comfort pick for Felice for the support.
Okay.
Team Smelly Men, so I think that's why
that Blitzcrank
comes out. Annie is probably going to go to the mid lane with a Quinn top and a Yasuo bot lane.
That's spicy. You think it's Yasuo Blitzcrank bottom?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, no. Now that I think of it, no. Top lane is going to play Yasuo and bot lane is going to play AD carry Quinn.
I think that makes sense.
Nunu and Willem also a comfort pick for the juggler of Team Smelly Man, so that makes sense that he defaults to that.
Yeah, sure.
Annie in the mid lane, not something I'm very used to from the mid laner from Team Smelly Man, but hey, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We'll see.
We will absolutely see.
On the other side, though, I think that composition makes a little bit more sense. So talk me through it. All
right. So looking at both comps, it's kind of hard to make sense of what is going on here. But let's start at the comp from Soundless Esports. You have some pretty similar things, right? You have the Nautilus, which is strong when enemies are coming into you. You have the Urgot, which is good when enemies are coming into you. You have the Rumble, which can put down the ultimate, and if the enemies are walking through a certain choke point and trying to come into you that way, is very, very strong. And then Varus with the ulti, Yoni with the ulti. It all makes perfect sense. But Team Smelly Men, they have the Nunu, so they're probably going to go into Soundless Esports. So I think Soundless Esports team makes quite a lot of sense. When we look at Team Smelly Men, it's really interesting because you have like the Nunu, which is trying to look for an engage, but your Quinn is trying to split push, and when you're split pushing, you'd rather disengage. And then you have Blitzcrank, which also absolutely sucks at disengaging, but wants to engage in a different way than that the Nunu wants to do so, which is once again in a different way that Annie wants to do so. So it's a bit of an interesting composition on the side of Team Smelly Men. But it makes me very excited to see what they can make happen with this.
Yeah, I think the way that TSM needs to approach fights might very well be like with a flank from Quinn, while at the same time you have like Annie predatoring in, landing the massive stun on everybody, Nunu following up with the snowball, followed by Yasuo ultimate, and then Blitzcrank just, I don't know, flash ulti or something, or doing it.
What is Blitzcrank doing there? Yeah, I guess, like you said, you can look for the Quinn flank, but that is kind of exactly what Soundless Esports doesn't really care about, because their champions are not champs that you could just pick off easily. Like, none of these champions, except for maybe Varus, can just be like burst by a random flank. You know, like Urgot, now, like Rumble's gonna have Zhonya's, Yone's gonna be able to just ult the backline when somebody else is coming in from the side. Urgot's gonna be tanky, he's not gonna die. And well, then the only one you're really going to get by like some weird flanking combination is going to be the Varus. But yeah, I don't know how much that'll really help Team Smelly Men. But, you know, we'll see. I think if we look at the win conditions from Team Smelly Men, it's not going to come down to the team fights, I think. They're not going to win late game team fights. Just looking at both teams, I think Smelly Men understands that. Instead, what they're probably trying to do with this comp is to get a huge lead early on. And they have the tools to do so. They have the Nunu and Willem, which has a very, very, very oppressive early influence. They have the Blitzcrank, which is always the coin flip factor. If you land your hooks, it's a very easy way to win the lane. Annie with the level 6 all-ins, trying to get some solo kills through that. You know, there are options there, definitely.
Yeah, what I kind of want to see here for TSM to get ahead is to really try and early free up the Annie, so that you can get the roams coming in, and then roam towards the top lane, try and kill the Yone, roam towards the bot lane, try and kill the Varus and the Nautilus, together with your jungler. And if you can get that going and get some early tower platings and that kind of stuff, I think you can get ahead relatively fast, honestly, with this composition, and try and snowball out of control. Quinn, very notorious for being a very strong laning phase champion, specifically top lane. Kind of same goes for the bot lane as well. So yeah, I think you have a point there that Team Smelly Men really needs to play for that early game.
Absolutely. If they fall behind, it's gonna be pretty much over, I think, for Team Smelly Men. It's really hard to make a comeback against that enemy team. But if they do get to snowball the early game, get those 4 first dragons of the game, then I think they have a chance. If they lock down that soul quickly before Soundless Esports get to scale, if they get those Blitzcrank hooks and just put Varus very far behind, maybe, if they put Urgot very far behind with Nunu ganks, if they put Yone behind. I love, by the way, that we have the Yasuo-Yone matchup. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that one outside of solo queue, so that'll be very, very cool to see.
Okay, looking at the players from TSM holding their current champions right now, I think we're going to have to completely think the composition, because the top laner from Team Smelly Men is holding Blitzcrank, the AD carry Quinn, the jungler is holding Yasuo, the mid laner Annie, and the support is holding Nunu and Willem. So of course they can
wait a second. What?
So they can swap around, of course, with players and roles and stuff. So that's not set in stone. But yeah, the Yasuo jungle is not the first time that jungler would have played it. Although, to be fair, the previous times were all in like casual, custom, not even custom, just casual games. So I'm not completely rooting out the Yasuo jungle here.
Okay, that's very interesting. So Yasuo jungle, tell me what makes that strong, because to me it sounds like you get absolutely clobbered by the jungle mobs. I mean, the jungle mobs did get nerfed with their damage, so maybe there's a bit of an option there.
Yeah, there's nothing particular that makes it strong. It's just fun to do. That's, I think, the main motivation. But yeah, also usually, of course, in the jungle, like you walk a lot, right? And when you walk a lot in Yasuo, you get your shield faster. So that means you can get a lot of value out of that passive. And that's, I think, what makes jungle Yasuo extremely strong, and why it's definitely something that needs to be contested for at MSI.
Huge shield value by walking a lot. I mean, you do you do cross the biggest distance, but I'm pretty sure that as long as you're just right-clicking your mouse, you should be generating that shield just as quickly in laning phase. But no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Yasuo jungle, that's huge. Can we see if he has smite? No, we can't. That's a shame. Otherwise, we would know immediately.
Yeah.
While we're waiting on the Spectre Lady, we do not know the summoner spells, which is a bit of a shame.
There's also remarks from chat concerning the overlay, specifically that there is a 2-to-1 in the center. Please disregard that. That is a part of the overlay that we have trouble working away now and then. The 2-1 is going to be there for every single game, I think, unless we find something to paste over it. But yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, it will be fixed for next game, I hear from production. Thank you, production.
Thank you, production, yes.
Yeah, so... okay, looking at these teams, right? You have Urgot, Rumble, Yone, Varus, Nautilus, very clear cut, and you have the menagerie comp from TSM.
Menagerie.
What do you expect?
I like that. That's a very nice way to put it. A menagerie comp. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not Hearthstone Battlegrounds, so there's no like massive buffs for menagerie comps. No Light Fang.
Yeah.
But that's another way to make it work, maybe. Anyway, what are we going to see from specifically Soundless Esports in the early game? What do they need to do? Because I already mentioned TSM needs to try and make chaos, basically. How are Soundless Esports going to play against that?
How is Soundless Esports going to play against that? Well, let's start with if it is a Nunu support. That probably means he's starting W, which means that they have a very nice invade, right? They have the Nunu W and the Blitzcrank Q invade. Even if the Nunu is a jungler, still have the Blitzcrank Q available as an invade tool. So they have to think, what are we going to do against the invade? And then the question is, if you group up, do you win? It's a bit hard to say. I would say you probably don't want to risk it. So I think, well, what do you think? Do you think if they all group up, if Soundless Esports groups up and then the team of Smelly Men walks into them, do you think Soundless Esports would win or Smelly Men?
At level 1?
Yeah, level 1.
Ooh, okay.
If the Nunu has Snowball, there's no way that Soundless Esports wins, I think.
I think that's a hard one to call. But I do see, okay, is you have double smite on the side of TSM, as well as a Ghost Ignite Nunu. And
my gosh.
And Annie are running teleport.
My gosh, what is going on?
Furthermore, Quinn is running Unsealed Spellbook with Domination 2nd.
I love that.
Nunu and
I love that.
And there is Conqueror on Blitzcrank, so it's probably going to be a top lane Blitzcrank. That's a throwback all the way to season 2015.
Wait, but who is their mid laner? Is Cattails the mid laner, or is I Shot My Wife the mid laner?
I think will be Cattails who will be in the mid laner.
No, please put it Nunu mid. Nunu mid is literally the strongest pick. Nunu mid is literally the strongest pick in the entire game.
Okay, so AD support is a thing. I forgot that. So that's possible. What I was trying to point out, by the way, is that Blitzcrank top lane was played in 2015 by SOAS, specifically of Fnatic. In a single game that split, because by heart, I think Reckless was trying to get the kills per split record, and he managed to do equal it, but did not actually manage to go over it.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, ultimately...
Whoa, look at this quality, guys. This is crazy.
So, you know...
20XX is here. We have camera angles.
Yes, this is
Can I get a poggers in the chat?
This is the first time we'll be trying out these camera angles, so of course let us know if you like them or if you don't like them. We will be trying to work with them during this stream. As a level 1, I think we're gonna get our wish. Here we go. Urgot's going to walk into the bush, but everybody from TSM is there. That means Urgot's maybe go low, but he uses this time to go away. Now he has to flash away as well. He gets ignited, and now the turnaround comes. Here comes the equalize. Everything getting burned. And Frisk Tucky also has to flash away. And there goes the snipe from Varus on the first blood. Means Frisk Tucky goes down. Here now, Breaking Bard and Monkey Face still trying to go on the run. Ignite actually manages to take down. It's 1-for-1 so far, but the fight is not over. As Ratufo is now my opponent.
And this is where the TPs come in. They have 2 TPs. And 2 TPs.
Drop Haki has to flash away and he gets followed up by Breaking Bard. Breaking Bard actually managed to pick it to go. This is 2-for-1 in the first 1 minute. This is
Breaking Bard is not gonna let Tabaki escape that easily. he wanted that kill. And you know what? He has Spellbook, so he's gonna be able to switch out that flash. Actually, Wait, what is Spellbook's initial cooldown? Maybe it was 5 minutes, so I'm not entirely sure. So maybe he cannot actually swap out that flash. But regardless, we are seeing Nunu and Quinn bot lane.
Yeah, it's a support Nunu.
It really is a support Nunu.
Yeah, with Ghost, a Predator, and Ignite. So he's gonna go fast and ignite people.
Yeah, so the Ignite is gonna be down for a little bit. But I must say, it's not going to be very easy to Nunu W into a Nautilus. It really is not, because if Nautilus... Well, Nautilus can hook away. I think if... How does that actually work? If you Nunu W towards Nautilus, he tries to hook you. I think he actually is probably on the bad end of that, because then he gets knocked up and you don't get pulled all the way.
The animation from Nautilus hook is longer than the animation from the knockup. I think the Nautilus hook actually will quote unquote cancel out the snowball. Actually, level 2 is hit here from the side of SL.
Yeah,
Esports,
and wisely they're going to go in. Yeah, that's very smart of them.
Yeah, no direct victories found though. It's Breaking Bar and I Shot My Wife managed to back off on time.
I think it's pretty strange that the Nunu started E, but now he does have the snowball. He's going to look for a play. I really would like to see the bot lane, but Plastic Zaki is also dying. And yeah, here you see that interaction between Nautilus Q. He is going to get knocked up, but there's not as much damage on the sound of Team Smelly.
And he gets the kill. I Shot My Wife going down in Rafuto, now trying to get the second kill as well. Breaking Bart already low health, but there's no Q. There is a Q available, but it's not going to land, I think.
Nah. He's not going to land.
From Breaking Bart. Now in the top lane we also saw a little bit of a fight where Plastic had to run away, but he managed to survive with plenty of his health available.
This is pretty sad for Team Smelly. Oh, what the huge hook on Plastic Zaki!
That means that the tower is going to be focusing, but it's not going to be able to take the kill. But you know, that is sending a good message right there.
Yeah, Ampache getting a little bit overzealous there, stepping
forward.
And this is the Nunu!
He's going to go down, but the trade kill comes out because Breaking Bart was still low. Both supports picking up a kill. No, that's not true because actually Breaking Bart had
a kill. Yeah, but nice clarity of mind there from Top Haki to realize, hey, I can get this return kill. Instead of panicking and trying to save Varus, you got that return kill so that Breaking Bart at least wouldn't be able to farm up there. Here we see a TP coming out. Ampache is looking for a play.
And that he is, and he gets to play for it. The teleport coming in, and it works.
Got him.
How is the Yasuo jungle doing in the meanwhile? Because it was indeed the Yasuo jungle.
Yeah, he actually has more farm than Rumble, so he's actually clearing very effectively, which I'm kind of surprised by, but he's doing a great job. I wonder when he's going to be coming into lanes and just absolutely shocking people with his wind wall and just trying to just surprising them with his W, which does nothing. As the camera is just out of commission for a few seconds, we get to enjoy some scenery, and now we get to enjoy something way more beautiful. We see Nunu going in.
And it means that the support from Tadis is in trouble, but it is not enough trouble for him to go down. He turns it around, and I Shot My Wife tries to get the pick, but goes down for it. Cattails in the meanwhile, trading a little bit in the mid lane. The smite. Oh, here, never mind. Yasuo actually coming in with the first gank of the game, and he gets the first kill for that.
He might actually get two.
He might get two indeed, because he is going to hit that, and that's Breaking Bart picking up his third kill of the game, snowballing already hard. That's a well-played gank from Multiple.
Yeah, nicely done.
No, because
first gank of the game.
Saki is going to have to interrupt his recon. Now he has to run away. He has already.
But Soundless needs to be careful. He has a turret.
Yeah, and he does manage to get away because I think exactly the pressure there of his tower.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. You can't really dive a Blitzcrank at this low level because, well, if he hooks you underneath the turret, you die. Yeah. This is quite a beautiful sight what we are seeing here. There is a 300 gold lead still for Soundless Esports, despite all the weird Nunu engages that we've seen so far in bot lane. It's still pretty even. I think we have Monkey Fist to thank for that with his beautiful gank. See if he can snowball his power.
Oh, the junglers have found each other right now, and the Monkey Fist might get some little bit of fire on his coat. I think he got the smite though.
He actually got that. Yeah, that was a nice smite by him. I don't think that the Rumble thing is blocked by the wind wall though. It's not very nice. There's so much action.
Haki is actually caught out by his Shot My Wife, but that means that Breaking Bart, who is out in a little trouble, goes down. But Stop Haki actually managed to flash away. He's very low. Does he actually manage?
That's with the Predator.
In the top lane, we do actually Shot My Wife gets the kill on the Top Haki top lane. Nothing ends up happening. I think Rumble manages to get away with another camp. But yeah, action all
What
over
is
the map
going on?
all the time.
And you know, the beautiful thing is, even though the Nunu engages have been going wrong every single time, he went for it this time and it worked, you know?
Yeah.
Finally.
When try again. Whatever. What the I don't know what to start, but I just know to try again.
If at first you don't succeed, just try again. Because at some point, you know, if you throw something against the wall, at some point it will stick.
Just keep throwing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't expect it to work out that much more. Because now Soundless Esports kind of knows what to expect.
Because here he goes again.
Absolutely does not. Oh, but Nunu has no hook of it.
And that means Haki might be in trouble here. He does not get rooted.
It's a nice chunk, nice chunk.
He's fine to go.
Nice chunk. I am a little bit disappointed. We do not see the Dark Seal coming out for I Shot My Wife. Instead, he just bought an amplifying tome. Oh, and it's a level lead.
He's managed to hit. Breaking Bard actually in a bit of trouble. He goes low very quickly and he goes down. But here is Monkey Fist and
Monkey Fist around the corner
of his game, and that means that Rakuto now has to trade himself for the Nunu. He gets the Nunu. Another question.
He has no flash.
The answer is no, because Monkey Fist is there to clean up 402 on the Yasuo jungle. It's viable, people.
It really is. And he seems to be doing a great job. Monkey Fist 4 with the Yasuo. He's going to have to carry against his older brother. I do not know if he's going to be able to. It's going to be hard. He is into an Urgot and he is into an Soundless. But maybe, just maybe, if TSM has a hope here, it has to be that Yasuo. And we see Plastic Suck.
Oh, the hook misses. Something I find really impressive to see as well is that Cattles is here holding herself in the mid lane, not managing to stay like a little bit falling behind in far, but he's managing to stay very safe. And that means that if the Annie gets enough items under her belt, she can always be a threat for your backside. Not maybe she can instantly kill you if she doesn't have the damage, but always to lock you down and do a lot of damage and set up some follow-up that she takes good.
Yeah, the mid lane matchup is actually really interesting. At this point, it should become Annie favorite. Like once you have level 6, because it's so easy to threaten lethal onto Yone, and Yone very often like this, you end up in trades as Yone where you can't really follow up. And
Yone goes going anyway.
There we see it in action. There we see it in beautiful action.
Breaking Bard gets knocked up by the I don't even know what it's called, but he gets hooked up by the.
That's TP number 1 coming in.
Teleport from Blitzcrank comes in, runs immediately into the tower.
What a play! He ran on the tower just to get him on the tower! But he's gonna die! Oh, but Pifu is tanking! Pifu's gonna die to the tower! What is he doing? Can he get another hook maybe? But another TP coming in, it's TP number 2!
The fight needs to continue because here comes Cattails. The Annie is ready to go. Gets a lot of smooth speed, but here comes. Oh, the hook lands, and that means that Plastic Zaki is going to go down as well. The bot lane from Soundless Esports really picking up steam with 9 kills combined.
Oh, what is he doing? He cannot do that to. Oh, but he lives with 1 HP.
He lives with 1 HP, but here comes the Quinn, and Quinn is fast. This is going to be fast.
Quinn is fast.
He dodge everything, but it's not going to be fast enough. And he manages to go for the Nautilus, but Nautilus also manages to.
Oh my.
Rakuto escaped with murder.
And maybe finally Smelly Men can pick up Dragon from this? I'm not sure. I think maybe they just choose to ignore objectives. And he does have to back because Yone is hard pushing this. Her TP was quite a big committal.
I completely forgot that Dragon was a thing this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
He just
managed to fight! But
Haki also managed to get away, but here is Rumble. Rumble doesn't have access to it. Actually, no, he does, and there goes I Shot My Wife. Also in top lane, now we see fighting. But
what is going on?
And that means top lane kill. Another kill for Yasuo 5-0. This is the enemy Yasuo that you're talking about, not the allied one.
We're 10 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, guys. What is going on? There's 24 kills and 0 dragons.
I think it was Captain Flowers who defined the Clown Fiesta as at least 1 kill per minute per team. And that's what we're at right now.
That is exactly what we're seeing here.
An utter Clown Fiesta. And hey, the dragon that you called earlier, look who's on it right now. It is Soundless.
It's actually Soundless, yeah.
That means that the wind drake is going to go down right now. Next drake will be I can't see it. I think it's Ocean. Wait, I can't see it. It's Ocean, yeah.
No. I think at this point,
oh no.
what Smelly Man needs to do is just keep playing through bot.
Because, the channel comes through and it's not going to be enough to get the kill. And that was a little bit of intentional thing right there.
Yeah, I do not think you win 2v2s at this point, because Nautilus is just going to be way too strong at disrupting the Nunu and just way too much CC. I think instead you just want to bring Yasuo over time and time again, just keep on setting up those easy ganks with the Nunu W and try to kill them over and over. Mid lane can hold their own, I think, at this point. Well, here we see Yasuo coming in.
The Dredge line makes the most land, but that does not mean that the fight is over, because Yasuo just now hits back onto the Nautilus. Nautilus goes down, and with the shield blow, he's well and healthy enough to actually survive the poke from Varus. Now there's more people visiting bot lane though, because here come Yone and Rumble. But are they going to look for the fight, or are they going to try and disengage? Actually, they're going to look for the fight, because here comes Nunu. Nunu does not care about anybody, and he wants to go off Varus, but it's not don't enough, and he gets taken down. I don't think my wife really cares about very much, except for taking the kill onto Kabuto.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point his Darkseid would be at negative 80 stacks, so maybe a pretty good idea not to buy that after all.
Cost you AP instead of gain you.
Yeah, we have been getting another reason to ban this absolutely broken Yasuo jungle pick, because man, Monkey Fist 4 is tearing it up here in this game. 6-0, the only thing really keeping TSM together.
Yeah, I see the Jasper in chat also saying that Team Smelly and going for the airport speedrun, something like that, going for very speedy champion. And actually the fight in the top lane going to go in favor of TSM one more time, because here comes Empacher and he is going to go down. And top lane wins for Esports. I'm not sure if I pronounced Empacher's name correctly.
Yeah, I'm also not entirely sure if that's supposed to be French. He almost died. I mean, that's quite interesting. I really thought that TSM had a good 2v2 there, but somehow they managed to lose it anyway. And that's what I was talking about. The Nautilus, when you are engaging with Nunu, it's just really awkward, because he's just gonna CC you and you're gonna die before you can do anything after snowballing. So it's just really awkward.
The main thing there what happened was that my wife got the initial burst damage down onto Nautilus, but then you don't kill him, and then indeed so much you see comes back out that Kabuto has enough time to, with this already completed Dust Plate and soon to be completed second item, that he just can roll over. And I think that if my wife does not manage to immediately land onto Kabuto and try and blow him up together with Breaking Bard, it's going to be really hard for them to pick.
It really is. But here, Aisama was going for a roam!
Right onto Yone, and Yone is not really in a very great spot. He does not manage to land the ultimate onto right people, and he goes down for it. Good roam, recognizing that they could not fight bot lane. The mid lane is just good to go.
Yeah, and kind of as expected, Blitzcrank here with absolutely no wave clear before level 6, and even after level 6 he has to use that ult on a pretty long cooldown to try to clear the wave. He's going to lose the first tower, but Urgot is overextending.
Yeah, you don't need wave clear when you just clear the Urgot instead, and that means that Urgot here goes down, and Yasuo now picking up 8th kill of the game for himself. Matching the Varus even, so yeah, this is definitely not a Yasuo you want to be fighting anytime soon.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the gold if the observers here can help us out. We got 7.8k on the Yasuo, actually 10, but never mind. Just a little bit of gold behind the Varus, so we have the two carries, which are very clear cuts. But if you think about it, Varus does line up quite poorly into Yasuo. Yasuo does have the tools to deal with Varus if it comes down to like a carry battle of those two. But that is really only if the Yasuo can keep up like with the like slicing down the Urgot.
The corrupting chains does not hit, and everything misses.
What a play by Capital!
Gets the stun, and that means here that the support is in a lot of trouble. The hook lands onto Yone, but Yone manages to.
Sphinx is a hero.
Oh no! Here comes the Nunu, and Nunu kind of ints, but hey, that was a good attempt. Now Monkey Face is in a lot of trouble actually. Sphinx actually going to go in, but that is not seem to be enough to get the kill. Never mind, because here comes the Rumble equalizer, and that does get the kill. Now Cattail's overstaying her welcome a little bit and goes down as well, and that should also be paired with that first tower in the mid lane.
Yeah, nicely done by Soundless Esports. Here we see the superiority of their draft in the team fights, kind of like expected. That was, by the way, it's a shame that we can't really pull up a replay, but there was an absolutely godlike hook block, protect the president by Sphinx in that fight, where he actually dashed in front of Top Hagi to to catch Plastic Zakia's hook so that he wouldn't die. It was really, really nicely done. Just through all that chaos, seeing that he had to do that. So it was actually really beautiful of him to protect his teammate that way. And they did end up winning the fight because of that. So very nicely done.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be horribly wrong when everything missed onto Cattails and Cattails got stunned in the tower. But Nautilus already so tanky that it did not end up mattering and the tower dive came through anyway. As we are seeing Nunu drifting right onto the first, exactly the touch you wanted on who lands, and here comes the follow-up stun, just in melee range for good measure, and the shutdown goes to a shot.
Yeah, and he deserved that one. Let's be honest, he did set that one up single-handedly with the snowball, and all Plastic Zakia had to do after that is follow up with an easy hook. So very nicely executed there by Team Smelly Men. They still have the Nunu factor. They still have the Blitz factor. This game is not unwinnable by any means. They can flip it over and over, and at some point maybe that will end up in a victory.
This is a fight for the Rift Herald that is waiting to be kicked off. But actually, Soundless Esports has the more strong-minded people, because they decide, you know what? Let's take a breather, let's take a step back, and not go in full-on fight one more time.
I absolutely love that Team Smelly Man has had complete disregard for the first two dragons, but that Rift Herald post 14 minutes, that's the one we need to send 5 people to. And you know what? You know what? At least that's an objective that you can say that you've taken. So, and that's a little victory because all turrets are still on the map of Team Soundless, and they haven't gotten a single dragon so far. This Rift Herald, hey, that's at least one objective down.
Oh, we might see a clash here between Sphinx and Breaking Bart, and Breaking Bart is not going to get the better of that, or is he? Because here comes
nice dodge!
Missions and a BC to the tower. That means Sphinx has to walk away, because that was some good play by Breaking Bart, who has the Ignite now with the Instilled Spellbook, managing to get away from that. That does give access to Soundless Esports to that bot side jungle though, and this is going to be a shot by running into top Haki. I'm not sure if that's the target you're looking for, certainly not if there's any backup. Oh, the camera.
Whoa, the camera's going all kinds of places. This is absolutely insane what we're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but that's okay, because nothing really happened, so it didn't really match. Now, I missed anything, but here goes...
Oh, I shot was in trouble!
Yikes, he goes down there.
Doesn't seem like he had a Q.
Okay, now the TSM grouping in that mid lane, trying to for the fence, but there's a massive equalizer.
It's huge.
2 kills immediately, and the third one to follow up very soon. Well played by P4A, getting that massive carpet down, and only Monkeyfish stands to live it.
Yeah. And at this point, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Team Smelly Men if Soundless Esports just sets up vision properly in the enemy jungle. It's going to be really hard for Team Smelly Men to look for those crazy Nunu picks. It's not going to do anything. Let's be honest. There's no follow-up here because half of the team is still dead. At least it did stop them from getting the turret, though.
Yeah, and it was a 3-man snowball, so you always got to be happy when you land 3-man snowball. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Team that actually does not manage to take the kill, and Pache was trying to get that. That was a little bit of grief for my shot.
I love how Yasuo's shutdown went from 0 to like 600, back down to 150 gold because his team is just making it so hard on him. I absolutely love that. I have not actually noticed that ever. That there's such a shutdown just dropped by so much.
Yeah, on the other side you have the Rumble though, sitting with the 700 gold shutdown, so very juicy for anybody that gets that kill. We do see Yasuo actually now on the second item, meaning that he's going to do a lot of damage with the auto attack and Q. But I don't think he's going to be stopping his Baron anytime soon.
No, if they are able to get this Baron, it's going to be very, very hard. There's so little wave clear.
The hook lands, and it means that I shot my wife was sort of in range to do a thing, but he goes down.
I think all Nunu wants right now was a road to heaven, and he found it. So congratulations. This game is looking like a little bit of a hell for Team Smelly Men at this point, because with absolutely no wave clear on their side except for maybe some W's, there's not that much that they're going to be able to do against the Baron buff. So I think Nunu, a little bit of a predictive view there, thinking, you know what, let's just end this one. And kind of understandably so. So let's see though what they can manage. Maybe they can do something with the 8-0 Yasuo.
Maybe. We'll have to see. They need to have some good knockups there to set up the Yasuo for success, I think. But hey, the Annie is charge, stun charge, so that is always going to be a very dangerous player here. Of course, all dependent on the execution. The dragon is going to get burnt down.
Ooh, huge wind wall.
And that is a massive Yone engage. I'm not sure if he's going to win this, but he's actually managed to get away.
The entire team of Smelly is just waiting there at the edge of the dragon pit. Like, when is this dragon pit going to disappear? Like, they were just completely confused for some reason. I don't understand what's going on there. But they threw over the Yone, they threw over the Rumble, but it was not enough to kill TSM.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be still an uphill battle, of course, for TSM. Now, the third Drake is going to force a fight in 5 minutes at the very least. So that means that TSM now needs to try and get as much gold under their belts in the coming 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I think at the first place they have to not lose the game, though, because this Equalizer is looking to end it all!
Yeah, that was a massive equalizer. Actually, Yasuo goes down. The massive carry from everybody's going down. A piece away here, taking the kill on everybody. Everybody gets burned to the floor, and only Cattail standing. Now, I don't think it's going to be enough to actually defend here. So that's going likely to be game 1 in favor of Soundless Esports. But who knows?
Yeah.
We have to see.
Who knows? Who knows at this point? Maybe with a flash W.
I think, and I'm not sure where Annie is, but hey, no, she's still alive. Okay, well, she tries to do a thing, but it's not going to be enough to do much. As the cameraman is working his hardest, showing off.
Absolutely doing a great job.
That was interesting.
Our cameraman is redefining how League of Legends should be spectated, and honestly, is making this so absolutely intense because we have no idea what's going on. But it looks like Team Smelly is actually killing Soundless Esports.
They are, and people went down, and in fact, the entire rest of the team from Team Smelly is back and taking down the team from. Soundless Esports. That's a lot of shutdown that went in their favor. Rumble still sitting on that 550 gold bounty after going down. But yeah, that was some very good gold for the Team Smelly.
Yeah, and you guys don't blame the observer. He's trying his best. This is a bit of an experiment here with the new camera mode, and honestly, it is making things very, very spicy to look at. So I quite like it.
Of course, it's very awesome that people from DSEA are willing to stand in and help us out with this, because that means we get a lot more freedom of casters as well to.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's awesome that the production value is going up eventually. So thanks so much, Maxime, for being the behind-the-scenes cameraman here.
Yep, shout-outs. Shout-outs to more docs.
And of course the Broco who actually get this going. Now actually, a point that I wanted to touch upon for the longest time, but we haven't, I've skipped over entirely, is the fact that Soundless Esports is called Soundless Esports for a very good reason. And that's because Soundless Esports have deaf players, meaning that they cannot actually hear anything that's going on in the game. They have to purely play on visual. The Hook, actually, never mind, the Hook misses, Rafuto manages to get away, and a massive equalizer combined with a knock-up from the side of whatchamacallit, Nautilus, means that everybody just gets burned to the ground. People are going to look for the plat. Actually, Urkel is in the game already, trying to look for. If you hit double D, you should be able to actually hit. Go back, by the way. Let's see. Cattails.
But in the end, Rafuto is going to get it, and
I think. Oh, that was the most important kill of the game.
That's going to get it.
It freezes. The fact that it freezes straight up means.
Absolutely well played, but no.
Over.
No penta, and I was going to say, might be a good thing there that the Soundless Esports couldn't hear the absolute cries of agony of TSM as they laid down the equalizer, because that might have traumatized them for quite a while. Because, man, that equalizer that burned them up pretty good there in that final team fight.
Yeah, certainly, because of course all of them got knocked up by the Nautilus knock-up as well, and that meant they were not going anywhere, standing onto the equalizer of a Fed Rumble. I don't think you really like that, ever. So yeah, burning down really quickly and ultimately leading to the first victory for Soundless Esports. Yeah, what do we think of this game? Because of course there was a lot of chaos, but do we think this is ultimately just Soundless Esports proving that they're a better team, or is it just chaos that happens to go in their favor?
That's hard to say. I don't think it's purely chaos that happened to be in their favor. I think looking at the ambience on both teams, not even looking at the skill level of the players, the chaos was bound to go eventually into Soundless Esports' favor, and that is what happened. The Nunu Nautilus interaction really wasn't wasn't favorable for Team Smelly Men, so they lost many bot lane fights. The only thing they had really going for them was the really fed jungle Yasuo. But when you're trying to play into a Rumble, an Urgot, and Nautilus, which are 3 champions that absolutely thrive when you're trying to be like eating through them, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to carry that. And therefore, I think Soundless Esports just executed their comp as well as they could. Same goes for Team Smelly Men, but it wasn't meant to be with the way they drafted their champions. But I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love to see what they were trying to do. It was very, very interesting. If more things went well, they might have been able to get away with the victory.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to have to see if in game 2 Team Smelly Man can strike back and get that 1-1 tie, or if they are going to fall for a second time in a row. Don't go anywhere, except for to your tap and get some water to stay hydrated. And we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, thank you, Maxime. We are live one more time for the last game of the DSEA League of Legends Spring Competition group stage. We just saw a very, very, very chaotic game 1 between TSM and Soundless Esports. So we should be heading into game 2 relatively fast to see if this complete chaos holds up. With me still, Quinn Cubicle. Quinn, did you catch your breath in the short break we had?
I mean, I had to do some breathing exercises there, man, because that was absolutely insane. I don't think we could even have a moment of silence there without missing a lot, because there was so much going on.
Yeah, I agree. That was very, very hectic, and we just only can hope for another hectic game like that in game 2. Now, I'm going to give the ready sign for the players to start the second champ select of this series to see if they actually adapt or play the same thing, run it right back. Soundless Esports have decided to stay on red side for game 2, so the teams will not be swapping sides. So
Cool.
we just get that. We definitely have a chance of getting the same thing right back.
Cool. That I would not be surprised if Team Smelly Man does that. I'm pretty sure they're a very confident bunch. Maybe also stubborn in that sense. But we'll see. Maybe they can pick up something extra spicy. You know what I would love to see? Maybe some Alawi mid. Hint. Would be a good idea. Would be a great idea. I'm just saying, Team Smelly Man, if you guys need a coach, I'm right here. You put Alawi in the middle lane.
Yeah. In the mid lane. I think I'm not okay. Well, yeah, we'll see what they do.
Yep.
Yes, we should be heading into champ select in a couple of seconds, so be sure to hang tight. Last game.
I still need the link, by the way.
You still need the link. It's in caster. It's in caster chat. It's in caster chat.
Oh, it's in caster chat.
Yes, okay. So you can just find it here.
Cool. Well, I'm ready to go then. What's a good jungle pick? Oof. That's a good question. I like the Yasuo. What did you think?
Yasuo was working very well. I think if you look at the very top of the meta, you have things like Morgana, you have things like Rumble and Udyr.
Yeah.
If you want to go slightly off meta, you can go for other champs have been buffed in the jungle recently. Think of, for example, the Darius, Garen. Those kind of picks. Those are very potential. Actually, I played some Darius jungle myself. It worked actually better than Darius top lane for me. So I don't know. I'm probably bad at Darius top lane, but hey, PvE, Darius, it apparently works. We see the Bard ban coming out for Team Smelly Man, targeted at, of course, their own support. Actually, AD carry, breaking Bard right now.
I mean, honestly, what I would love to see by Team Smelly Man is an absolutely unbeatable comp consisting of 5 bruisers. You put a Lowy in the mid lane, you put something bot like Wukong, Cho'Gath, or something absolutely unbeatable bot lane combo, because you just chain the knockups constantly once Wukong has level 6. And you put like Darius, jungle, like you said, and then top lane, pretty much whatever. You can put Nasus there. Just stack up while your team is destroying the other side of the rift. That's one of the ways that is basically guaranteed victory. So let's see if Team Soundless Esports bans any of those absolutely broken champions away. But let's have a look if Team Smelly Man adapts their strategy or stays with the otherwise also pretty amazing strategy of Nunu and Quinn bottom lane.
Oh, we see the Ahri ban coming out as well, targeting their own mid laner. So, you know, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. LeBlanc and Senna being banned from Soundless Esports now, as well as Leona. Those are more generic bans targeting something that is strong against their composition. And here, hey, you mentioned it. They play it. Alawi coming out in.
Let's go!
And now the Yasuo from Soundless Esports. I think that might be going jungle just to show that he can do it too.
That would be absolutely amazing. Let's go, Team Smelly Man. They absolutely know what is up, and you know I know those guys, and they are fantastic. They are fantastic at playing the game. I mean, they might have lost last game, but that was just because they did not have that Alawi mid. Now that they do, I'm hoping it goes mid. If it doesn't, there's the Darius! Absolutely insane, just incredible strength. And the Nasus, no way! They're going for it!
That's probably going to be a top lane dog. Yasuo and Seth, both flex picks were honestly all over the place. Seth can be played top lane, jungle, mid lane, and support. Yasuo can be played top lane, jungle, mid lane, AD carry. maybe even support. So we have no clue what Soundless Esports are going to go into. But yeah, Illaoi, Darius, and Nasus locked in does suggest that Illaoi might be heading over to support AD carry or mid lane, as Darius jungle was proposed, and Nasus might be a top laner.
I'm absolutely dying. I'm just waiting for the Wukong Cho'Gath bot lane to come in at this point. But this looks like we have 6 bruisers on the map already. Let's make it 10.
These fights are going to go lasting for years, honestly. Shyvana coming out is likely to be a jungler, and then probably a AP Shyvana, which is going to one-shot people. Quinn, I'm sorry, guy, you have to go to the bench. You can no longer
I guess I have to head off the caster couch as well then. I'm banned, man.
Yikes. Okay, well,
it was fun while it lasted.
I'll let you off the hook this time. You can stay for the game. But Quinn finding its way to the bench as well as Nidalee now. The Cougar not going to stay.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they... let's hope Soundless Esports doesn't have the bright idea to get to grab something like Casio. Otherwise, Team Smelly Men really can't do anything. But let's hope they don't do that.
And there is Annie as well finding his way to the bench. So that was some targeting towards last composition. Maybe they thought that the Quinn and the Annie really were the most difficult champions to deal with, and they not want to see it one more time.
Some target bans
here. Or being picked up, being banned here as well.
Another melee boy! What is going on here?
Yasuo's Malphite. This might be a full knockup team from Soundless Esports, where Shyvana...
Yeah, but if Team Smelly Men are just 5 tanky men, then there's nothing that Soundless Esports got to be able to do. Lock in the Cho'Gath, lock in the Wukong. Come on, this is where they shine!
We'll have to see what...
Okay. I'll take
that. That's a very solid pick, actually, in both the support and top lane roles. So we're going to see where that goes. And the last pick, I hope it's some sort of range, but it's always going to be squishy. So maybe that's not great against the Malphite. We have to see what they have.
They don't need a range.
If you get just a game with 5 melee
champions. Okay.
I was going to say, if you get a game of 5 melee champions just bashing each other, no tower is ever going to go down. Maybe your less chance demolish or something, because you just can never get there. Ezreal actually a very solid pick in the composition, I think, because he can dash away from Set, Malphite, maybe even Yasuo, and Lucian being picked up from Soundless Esports.
Yeah, I think it's all right. It does, like you say, it is a range champion, so it kind of rounds out the comp pretty well. But it is not really the first range champ that would come to my mind when I think about a champ that needs to kill tanks. I would rather think about like maybe a Vayne. But this is fine. You know what? They didn't want to play Wukong, I see. Well, you know what? Just hit them with that red exclamation point at the end of the game. Just lock in the unsportsmanlike behavior, and you know what? Call it a day. Call it a day right there.
Based on that, I think it's going to be an Illaoi support with Ezreal. A potential Gragas mid lane there.
Nah. If they don't put Illaoi mid, it's such a great matchup into Yasuo. It's so great.
But
I really hope they do.
Yasuo bot lane together with Malphite.
You might be right. You might be right. Yeah, it's not that great into Lucian actually. So yeah, maybe they put Gragas.
Actually, I'm thinking Cattails also does play Ezreal mid or Ezreal AD carry now and then, so it will possibly be an Ezreal mid lane into that Lucian. That is a rough matchup. I think Lucian can really bully Ezreal there. But that's something they might want to go for with the Gragas Illaoi bot lane. We have to see how that ends up. But yeah, I am a little bit confused because extending the Gragas mid lane is definitely possible. But it's like since season 4 or 5, it just hasn't been seen. Like it's just like an extinct animal. As you can see, our pretty little faces one more time. As they will be remaking the draft we just saw, but now in the champ select.
I have high hopes. I have really high hopes here for Soundless Esports. Like I'm serious. I don't think they can do anything to Nasus late into the game, can they? Like if the Nasus gets to stack up, there's just absolutely nothing that Soundless Esports can do. Yeah, sure they can set ult him, but I mean then they're just gonna end up in the middle of Darius and Illaoi. They're not gonna be happy with that. I think Team Smelly Men has got themselves a pretty good draft on their hands. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, something I do want to question a little bit is the armor penetration Yasuo can stack in the current meta. Using Dominic Regards as well as his ultimate, of course, giving him 50% armor penetration after you use it. Combine that with 35%, I think, or 20% given from, actually 35, I think, given from Dominic's regards, means that Yasuo will end up like 85% armor shred. And
Wow,
that's
that's
going to
not
be
quite how it works. So
very,
yeah.
very rough for well, anybody, kind of. So yeah, that might be the way to go. Also, of course, Yasuo is not the only damage dealer. Set is really good at dealing with very chunky boys as well. Shyvana has a lot of AP burst, so the team from TSM cannot only go armor.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because the Shyvana doesn't really want to go AP here because there are no really great targets to burst. But at the same time, if you go AD, you don't really have that much damage. You don't have any magic damage. So it's kind of, this is a spot where Shyvana is just going to cry, basically. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they will end up doing with that pick. But yeah, I guess she just has to go AP because otherwise there's not enough magic damage on the side of Soundless Esports. Team Smelly Men, yeah, they can just build really tanky. I do like the argument you made about Yasuo being able to cut through the tanks, but on the flip side, the tanks are going to deal just as much damage to him because well, Yasuo's not going to be squished. Yasuo's not going to be tanky, so yeah, I think it's still looking pretty good for Team Smelly Man. They do have that turret pushing power. They got that in clutch with the Ezreal, but they also just have a very strong split map approach if they want to do that with the Alawi and Darius or the Nasus in the side lanes. You have so many options. And then Gragas, you can just put him alongside Ezreal in the mid lane, and there's no way they're engaging onto Gragas Ezreal. So yeah, pretty fantastic by Team Smelly Men. Looking at it though from the side of Soundless Esports, they're definitely not out of options at all. I mean, they have the tools to get ahead with the Yasuo. If the Yasuo gets ahead, then yeah, he will win in the late game against those tanks because of that armor pin. So they just need to get the Yasuo ahead. If they manage to do that, then it's looking pretty good for Soundless Esports. How do you think they can get the Yasuo ahead?
How they get the Yasuo ahead is just by sending a lot of people to Yasuo a lot of times. Yasuo, Malphite is going to get pushed in early by Ezreal and Gragas, likely in the bot lane. So that means that since the Ezreal Gragas are forward, they're going to be vulnerable to potential ganks from Shyvana, but more likely even from Shyvana and Lucian together. As Lucian will likely have the push against Lawi in the mid lane, assuming that's the lane.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, if that Yasuo then gets ahead, it's going to be rough. Something I do want to point out a little bit though is that the amount of hard CC on the side of Team Smelly Men is not very much there. You have a lot of chunky boys, and also for example, Lawi and Nasus really like to work with CC, but don't bring so much of themselves. I kind of only the apprehend from Darius as well as the body slam and explosive cask from Gragas. Explosive cask even blocked by the Yasuo windball, so only leaving the body slam and the apprehend from Team Smelly Man to real hard CC. And I think it's going to be very important for them to focus that on the carry, whether it's the Lucian or the Yasuo. It doesn't really matter as long as that carry gets CC and bursts it down. Otherwise, Yasuo gets kind of free roam, because Yasuo getting slowed by Wither from Nasus doesn't really matter because he just kind of dash around them. It doesn't really do anything. Lucian has the Relentless Pursuit, so he doesn't really care about the Wither as well.
Didn't Lucian E also cleanse slows?
Yeah,
or is that gone?
It used to actually cleanse all the slows that were applied to that Lucian at the time, but that is in fact already been nerfed for a couple of years. Was a very strong ability because of it.
Yeah, that's really
I remember playing against a friend who plays a lot of Fizz, and he was really tilted by the fact that I could just dash the slow away from his ultimate.
Wow.
Because he just couldn't catch up with me anymore after that. So yeah, the slow, of course, does not longer get cleansed, but the Lucian has a little bit more trouble with dealing with the Nasus and the Lawi, but still, you really want the hard CC to hit there. But yeah, as you already mentioned, you need to get the Yasuo ahead, right? And how you want to do that is to send people towards Yasuo. Give Yasuo the kills. That's also another important thing. If you send people towards Yasuo all the time, but you also take all the kills and all the farm, Yasuo's still gonna fall behind. So give Yasuo the kills, give Yasuo the farm, give Yasuo everything, and then hope it's an enemy Yasuo and like Yasuo, so to speak.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. They have to do that somehow. But yeah, we'll see if they can do that. Yeah. I'm looking at what the Yasuo is able to win ball this game, and only thing is really Ezreal ult and Gragas ult. So not that much to win the wall.
You have the Mystic shots as well, of course, coming in from Ezreal.
Yeah.
So that's something that's minor, and actually the wind wall from Yasuo can zone Ezreal in general out of the fight. So that might be a very interesting, because of course all Ezreal's attacks are projectiles.
That's true. But it's easy to reposition with the Ezreal E, so...
Yeah, exactly. So that's the question, of course, is Cattails, who will be playing the Ezreal, is she going to be able to reposition herself around that Yasuo wind wall while also avoiding the Malphite, avoiding the Zed, avoiding the Shyvana, avoiding the Lucian, and all the stuff thrown her way. I know from a history point of view, she has always historically had a lot of trouble with that specifically. The Yasuo wind wall does not like the ability whatsoever. But she's going to have to play against it right now and try and make herself useful anyway. Yeah, so that's the wind wall available. And also the big one, of course, the explosive cast from Gragas. If Yasuo manages to windwall that, then Gragas just loses his ultimate.
True.
For free. Yeah.
That's the big one. Yeah, I just can't stop laughing about this game. It's going to be hilarious in any case. Like, just looking at this draft, I honestly can't believe that this is happening in a DSEA tournament. Like somebody said in chat before, why are people watching MSI when this is on Twitch? And I just want to copy that because honestly, this is some high quality entertainment that we're seeing right here. This is some meta breakage. The meta is not staying whole today, and I love to see that. I absolutely love to see that. What is your favorite off meta pick?
Off meta pick of this game or in general? Because I think.
Well, let's say I was going to ask in general, but maybe you have an answer to that other question.
Yeah, in general, I honestly don't know, but I think the Darius jungle is very fun to play. So I think Darius jungle definitely for these champions, my favorite pick of them all. But in general, outside of this game, I think AP Wukong top. That's something I played a while back specifically for
AP Wukong top, really?
And it works surprisingly well. His clone damage and his E damage, I think, scale with AP. And you just buy Lich Bane, and that's then your auto attack scale with AP. And like that way, you just blow people up. It's actually really fun. And you're very squishy, but you just blow people up. And
the auto attacks of the clone skill with AP, that's hilarious. I've never heard of that.
If you get Lich Bane, of course, it does.
Oh, okay. Oh, like that. Okay, yeah.
But also, I think the passive does, like, based on magic damage, if we get some awesome views from our cameraman here.
Whoa, guys. I'm hearing a lot of SS pings. This is hurting my brain. Well, that's okay.
Of course, it would be awesome if our cameraman could also bring up the scoreboard and the objective timers with an O and U, and we can get into this.
Yep.
Let's go see if we can get another epic level 1 like we had previous game, or if this is going to be a lot more standard. And it looks like Team Smelly has opted into the more standard variation this time.
Yeah, putting taking a defensive approach. Just spreading out across the map. Don't want to fight that level 1, which is understandable. They're fighting into a Yasuo and Lucian level 1. It's not really very nice. It looks like it is indeed going to be Yasuo set bot lane. No, you said Yasuo Malphite, but I think it's Yasuo set bot lane.
It is Yasuo
it's pretty
set,
interesting. Yeah. It would be great to put the Alawi into that. So let's see if they end up doing that.
Looking at the itemization, I think, and the position on the map currently, I think it's going to be a Alawi and who else is there? Gragas bot lane. Leonatails, or Cattails, my apologies, is going to be playing mid lane Ezreal, and jungler is going to be Monkey Fist on the Darius. And Plastic Zaki on Nasus. Fun fact, Plastic Zaki used to play a lot of Nasus all the way back in the day, I think season 3 or 4, because he just really liked the champion.
It's funny champion.
And yeah, that's a champion he learned to last hit on, of course, because lasting is super important with Nasus. And yeah, that's
I like that.
A champion with a lot of history for him. So we're going to have to see if he manages to out-history Empache here.
He is right in his comfort zone apparently then. That's cool,
Yeah.
Actually, I believe Bard has also played the Alawi. I think I've seen a clip of him play it once, so maybe this is also somewhat in his comfort zone. Also, I think this matchup top lane is really nice for Nasus. He just gets to sustain through the Malphite Qs, attack Malphite's mana pool, and end up just being able to free farm. Yasuo here stepping forward quite aggressively, but the set has a very nice double. What's that? Is that a double? No, that's not. That's an E, I think, right? And that's a very nice E. Yeah. And Alawi needs a W and E herself to really trade back effectively.
Yeah, indeed, Breaking Bard already comfortable on the Illaoi. Honestly, if you have a pick and you have some question marks with that pick, like why would you do this? It's probably up the wheelhouse of Breaking Bard. That's just how he plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, Illaoi bot lane specifically already thinks he played a couple of times. Yeah, so important thing I think is going to see how the mid.
Ooh, another engage. Really nice body slam by Wife. They're taking a lot of HP from Rafuto, combined with that tentacle slam, which Bard timed really nicely with his W. They're looking for no, they don't quite have lethal here. Rafuto's about to have a shield up as well, so it's going to deny lethal, and he still has his heal. But Wife is sitting on that ignite, so he might be able to look for a kill soon.
Yes, and Breaking Bard is likely going to be building very lethality-based effect.
You think
Facebreaker
so?
lands onto Wife, but it's not going to be very threatening. The Haymaker also lands, and that is not going to be enough to get very much done for the rest. But yeah, health bars all over the map, really, really healthy. So let's actually have a look at the jungle pathing for now.
Yeah, the Shyvana did a full clear. Oh, no. Actually, not. She skipped her Gromp. And the Darius is skipped Krugs. He is going to end up at the same Scuttle Crab, which is not great because Shyvana's already going to have it. But we see a fight here in bot lane. Breaking Bard going very low, but so is Topaki. And the Tentacle Slam!
The massive shield for the
here. Monkey Fist!
Darius, and just like in last game, Monkey Fist is absolutely popping off in the early game. And he gets the first kill already. And now Rafuto is very low, but he manages to Yasuo dash away. And now he actually tries to go back in, but it's not like maybe not going to be very good. But he does. But now Wife flashes away. If P-Flay flashes after him, Shyvana now thinking a tower shot, but it's going to be enough to get away. I'm not sure. Everybody kind of just walks away, and it was only
what is going on?
blood for Monkey Fist, and he starts his he continues his killing spree from last game already.
But I love that actually for Breaking Bard that he has it.
Oh,
he gets it!
Oh my lord, Rafuto going down to the 1v1, and that means the second kill going over down to Breaking Bard.
If Breaking Bard is smart, he's just gonna freeze the wave here and just gonna base and TP back. But let's see what he does. He might instead decide to just shove it out, but I don't think it will reach the turret because he doesn't have the health to do that. But that's still a big win for Breaking Bard there, getting the kill over Rafuto. So really nice start here for Team Smelly Men. This draft is going exactly like you would hope it would. And Plastic Sakya, he's keeping up in this CS big time. He's still got a big wave there. He's going to be able to, I think, get ahead in CS even. Yep. And like I said, Ampache, he's sitting on 0 mana. Plastic Zakya with the Gnosis, it's so easy to attack Ampache's mana pool because he just out-sustains really easily with his passive. I think his passive gives like 15% lifesteal or something ridiculous. And it's if you are allowed to hit the minions, you can sustain basically through anything.
Yeah, Nasus of course already actually facing the immediate Bramble Vest from Apache.
12% lifesteal, thank you.
Yeah, 12% lifesteal, and he also immediately facing the Thornmail or Bramble Vest from Apache. Does not want to be dealing with that sustain.
Fair enough. I mean, as long as he doesn't attack the mob fight, he's fine. Let's have a look at the mid lane. 15 CS difference, so kind of like you would expect. Lucian very, very strong in the early game, has a lot of pressure onto Ezreal. Ezreal is her. The burst trades of Ezreal are a lot less potent than those of Lucian, so it's kind of logical that there would be a farm lead for Spinks here in the start of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder actually if it's going to be an AD or an AP Ezreal by now, because anything goes. But Breaking Bard gets the tentacle smash down on the Test of Spirit, and that means now Rafuto. Wait, was he actually, or was it can he survive? I don't know, but whatever. Fights continue in the bot lane. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, the Spirit did survive there, but they got a lot of damage through the Spirit. Darius is pathing back towards bot lane, and as before, the bot lane of Soundless is positioned super aggressively, and they don't have tentacles like Illaoi does to back them up. They have to do it by themselves, but they do have a ward here to back them up, so fair enough.
Yeah, and in fact another one seen, so they have wards aplenty. Something I do want to get into a little bit actually is we talked about the Yasuo shredding through tanks, but I think the Darius can definitely do the same. So if Darius ever gets into a 1v1 against one of the players from Soundless Esports, it's going to be no problem to actually clean that up. That's how that goes.
I think it's a very interesting buy here from Gnosis. He got the Lucidity boots for maximum stackage, and I mean I love to see it, but I'm not sure if it will actually net more stacks because now Ampache has a very easy time trading So I'm not actually sure if it will, in the end, net him more
Oh, the
stacks.
killing coming down on Cattails, and Cattails having to flash away, but at least that is good body blocking from Monkey Fist. Very good map awareness there, reading his mid laner being in trouble. Saves her out there. Oh,
nice body slam! Rafuto taking 2 turret shots!
Oh, that was well played by Wife, actually managing to get that damage down. And yeah, Rafuto looking for a play here and there, but gets punished every time so far, actually.
Yeah, it's extremely
hard. The
hard.
dragon is on the dragon right now, so yeah, there it goes.
Dragon. Taking on the dragon.
Rafuto again getting called out by the body slam. This time it's a good follow-up here from Top Haki. Now Minky Fist, as we already mentioned,
okay, gonna have to flash out.
Tanks, and that's a flash, ultimate flash away from.
This might be a kill.
Actually, Wife getting the go down on Rafuto. Rafuto burning down to the ignite, but here comes People. People managed to get the immediate counter kill onto Breaking Bard as Alawi also falls, so 1-for-1 in the bot lane. But yeah, the fight's definitely going the way of TSM so far.
A little bit overzealous there from Breaking Bard walking into the facebreaker range. It was not necessary, but hey.
Oh, and Pache
it's still a 1-for-1.
Just to ensure that all his summoners are down, and he gets maximum value out of the respawn timers. And now here comes Cattails with just a solo kill, but just a solo kill to Beefway.
Nice roam, nice roam.
Exactly. Very
Absolutely.
good as well. And that means that Beefway has to go and respawn.
Might be 20 CS down, but still absolutely playing to her outs here by getting those side lane kills just to get back up in gold. And here Rafuto's in a bad spot, I think.
He managed to let the ultimate though, and that means that he's going to have some pressure with that passive on that ultimate as well afterwards. He gets another knock-up and he lands it onto Breaking Bard right here. But is it going to be enough for him to get away? And in fact, it does not seem to be. The slam goes down with an flash, and he is not going to get away.
Goodbye, Yasuo.
From the deity of the in the bot lane. Now Monkey Fist does not seem to want to relent again, and he gets a
this time he has no flash.
He has ult and there's indeed no flash, and here comes the ult, and that means that now Empache is still. Oh, there go, he goes.
Stacked!
Stacks, definitely, all the way. Very worth for Plastic Zakje getting it out.
What a beautiful game! I absolutely love this. The team of Smelly Men, which is just filled with a bunch of heavy bruisers, is doing so well here. It's so easy as well for the Gragas to just neutralize anything that Rafuto is trying to do on the Yasuo. Yeah. So it's really, really hard. But Pifu is doing pretty well on the Shyvana. She's at 67 farm, up on the Darius, and already has 1 kill. So this Shyvana, and she's going natural to it, so she's actually going for like a more of a... she could go for more of like a DPS AP build, which would be good against this team. Yep. Might actually be able to pop off at some point.
Yeah, if you go for a build that does require you to go into melee range though, I think it could get rough to stay alive long enough. To deal your DPS, because there is Darius, there is Alawi, there is maybe even Cattails with Ezreal. Is there? No, there's not actually. Damn it. I hope there was going to be a Dark Harvest stack onto Wife, a Dark Harvest on Wife, because he could stack that really easily with Breaking Bard.
Yeah. That would be really funny. That would be really good if they had the Dark Harvest on Wife here. Fortunately, going for the phasers, but that's completely fine.
Yeah. In the meantime, we see Monkey Fist continuing to clear out his jungle, keeping up with the Shyvana relatively well, slightly behind. I think he cleared 1 less camp. But now, speaking of the Shyvana, actually, it's time for Shyvana to go top lane. And here he comes. Both ults have been expanded now. Actually, Plastic also going for the ult, but it does not look like he's going to have enough to survive there. And he goes down. Well played by the Shyvana.
Ooh, nice culling!
Cattails actually gets called out. Nice culling by Sphinx, punishing the overextension. Here comes the body slam flash, and it's enough for to close the gap. But is it also going to be able to get the kill? I'm not sure, because it's now 3 for 3.
And this is where Alawi's big!
Wow, that was a lot of damage, and Darius picks up 2 kills. Wow, okay, yeah, well, I guess it was going to be enough, huh?
The explosive cask might have missed, but the Alawi and Darius damage was more than enough. Yep. And the funny thing is, there's a 5 kill deficit here for Soundless Esports, but they're only 500 gold behind, and that's because they have been so good at getting those plates in top and mid lane. It's really much easier for them to get those plates than it is for Team Smelly Men. Team Smelly Men in the early game is going to have a hard time pushing down turrets. At some point, when they are able to split push, they should be able to get turrets back, but in the early game they're going to fall behind for the in gold for that reason. But because of the kills, they are not actually falling behind in gold, so it's actually completely okay.
Yeah, that's of course it's very much something that Cattails has always struggled with, and it's something some of her weak points as well. That she really she does not die a lot in lane, like what you just saw, of course, might counteract, but she does not die a lot in lane. But also she does not get a lot of pressure or a lot of farm in lane. So because she kind of concedes the mid lane to try and scale for more of the late game, and that
and that's okay.
And that's okay, of course, but that does mean that the rest of the map has to play with a lot more pressure put towards them, because this Lucian kind of gets a free lane, kind of gets to walk around whenever he wants. So that's the deficit of Cattails' playstyle. But yeah, last game it kind of ended up working out for a little bit until it didn't. Now
Will Plastic Sakya win this?
No, I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
He doesn't need to as well, because he just kind of walks away.
It's fine. It's fine.
Lowy coming up with a lot more damage here in the bot lane, continuing to farm. Honestly, the farm difference in the bot lane and top lane as well have relatively been close. The jungle farm is a little bit there, but of course Monkey Fist with the 3 kills, definitely enough to make up for that. So actually, Maxine, could you change around Gragas and Lowy on the scoreboard?
Yeah, that is indeed the Gragas is the support. That would be fair, but there's a bit of
starting right there as Ilawi manages to land another test of spear, but it's opposite, so I'm not sure if that's the right target you want. Here goes the fight. P4 actually manages to ult, but they're... Okay, nothing really happened.
Camera work. Is something going to go on? You might be a... follow up with the Yasuo? No.
Both Strings and Cattails roaming from the mid lane, and ultimately everybody just walks away because nobody is really going to want to die there. That was some awesome camera work, of course. There.
Yeah, nicely done with the camera. That looked really cool, for sure. The Darius of Monkey Fist is huge. He got the Stride Breaker now 3-0. He's gonna be looking for a lot of ganks, I think. It's pretty easy to rinse and repeat what they were doing on the bot lane of Soundless Esports. So I think Darius might be going mid.
Oh, he's going mid indeed, and Lucian is already in full retreat. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to get a kill there, because the camera is still focusing on the top lane, because Mpache continues to just hammer down on that Plastic Zakian.
Nice slam.
Yeah, Wife is now... Oh, actually the body slam does not hit because it hits the... Oh, that's the double knockup, never mind, here we go. Actually the last breath comes down, but it's
going to matter.
Here comes Set Ult,
it's not going to matter. Topaki is just throwing himself under the turret.
Massive display. Wife is going to go down to Ignite maybe, I'm not even sure, but also Topaki falls, and that means that it's a best of all, but even worse, it's so...
Oh, this might even be another kill on Rafuto if he's not careful. Oh, just needs to hit one more slam, but the TP's coming in.
Oh no, Mpache actually met the TP. Here comes the Unstoppable Force. He's going to be enough to get the kill onto Breaking Bar. Now Rafuto also going to dash away, and he goes down. Wife also going down. That means that there's 2 for 2 kills in total so far. Plus Zakiya is also teleported down, and Monkey Fist and P4 are also there just to ensure that the fight really stops. 2 for 2, both bot lanes die.
That's incredible. It started off with the bot lane of Soundless Esports thinking that they could burst down the bot lane of Smelly, which was not easy, but the fight is actually going to continue. Maybe no, they're not. They're just going to give up the dragon for now, which is okay. If Team Smelly wants a chance at the dragon, they have to be there first. It's really impossible for them to approach the team of Soundless Esports. They have to just be in there first, and then it becomes really hard for Soundless to come into them. But yeah, that didn't end up happening. That's okay though. They got out of the fight 2 for 2. They're still at an equal gold state, so I think it's completely fine. Their bot lane is very far ahead. The jungler is very far ahead. Just the mid lane that's quite a bit behind, and the top lane because Malphite got some opportunities to get free kills.
Yeah, I think honestly that Cattails is making quite a big mistake by not going AP as earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
It really does not only shoot herself in the foot, but also really gives Malphite an easy building, because he does not need to worry about any form of magic damage for this entire game. So that's definitely something that itemization-wise could be improved here, as Rafuto goes for another fight, but he's 1v2 for Set is not yet there. He has to dash all the way away, and I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The Windball blocks the cast, but is it going to be enough for him to escape? He goes very low, but I think he
Spirit
does
misses.
manage to get away. Yeah, you're correct. That's the Spirit did indeed miss, and that's why Rafuto here, even though he takes half his health as damage, again the flex body slam coming out, and that means that Rafuto is not yet out of the woods yet. He's running. He just runs all his life, it seems like, because he needs to be fast. And
he's just running.
He just runs, and oh wait, the barrel hits, and that means now that Rafuto goes down for one more time. Is the Breaking Bar going to be able to close the gap? He is not, because the tower is there to save Topaki. But yeah, the bot lane really going in favor of TSM here.
Yeah, for sure, and I think now TSM might have the chance here to grab the turret, because look at how low Topaki is.
Yeah. He stayed for so long now that he might even die to a dive here. Graga's wife has been really good on those body slams, so very much something that Topaki needs to be careful about. There's nobody around to help him as well. He's all alone. So if they decide to go for this, he might.
Yeah, I mean they're just taking the turret and then gonna dive him afterwards.
It does look like the way to do it. He actually gets Testo Spirited as well as Body Slam, but it's not enough to go. But he has to flash away. That's a big loss for Topaki there. Kind of overzealous, trying to defend something he did not. He wasn't able to defend. Now Cattails roaming to the top lane. I'm not sure if they're going to have the damage to take down a Melvin. They're super force. Managed to actually get Cattails and the blow up there because there was also Thief away. Means that the roam gets punished. Very well done by Soundless Esports, and Cattails showing some of the cracks in her armor so far.
Especially Pifu with just a really nice reaction. I like the play by Cattails though, trying to do something proactive while she's having a hard time in the lane. It's good that she's at least trying to influence the map. So I do like that from her, but nice test of spirit. But yeah, like you said, the timing was not really right, and it's really hard to kill Malphite as well. Just 2v1 even, because you're going for that AD build.
Yeah, exactly, and that means that Malphite, I think Malphite got the kill, otherwise Shyvana either way gets another kill in their inventory, and that means that they're going to be able to get more tanky or do even more damage very soon, because you can already see the Forge Fire Cape is done by Mpache, as well as the Bramble Vest and Armor Boots, so he is well and ready to go for any sort of physical damage fight. Maybe only a Monkey Fist on Darius would be able to have the true damage to take him out. Oh, bot lane is going to go something. That's not
Something's going to happen. Lucian's walking down, and so is Darius.
Yeah, exactly. Now his wife is going to disengage, and I don't think the fight is really going to kick off here. But the top lane tower is actually going down. That's pretty bad for Blessing Zaki, as he now has to. Wait, he just ignores the Malphite there. Wow.
Yeah, and he just keeps stacking up, which is completely fine by him. They got another test of spirit. They're going to slow down Topaki and summon some.
It's beneficial for Plastic Zaki to completely ignore Malphite, because if he ignores Malphite and just doesn't hit him, the Reavers would never mind. We're going to fight bot lane. Here goes Explosion Star. Lucian gets pinned into the wall, but it's not going to get the kill. No, it's not. After my wife goes down by the cunning, and he gets curled down all the way. Now Thiefway is looking for the follow-up. Here comes the tentacle slams and a lot of damage, instantly killing Thiefway. But also there the Cattails has gone down. Now Sphinx coming back to the fight, but Rapato is going. But wait, what? Okay, he died in the middle of his ultimate, so his ultimate still continued going. That means actually very big for Sphinx, because now Sphinx managed to get actually out of there.
Nice.
So that saves him 3 for 2, I think, ultimately.
Yeah, it was actually still in the end. It ended up being a nice fight for Smelly Men. They're going to be able to grab this Drake in 5 seconds. It is a Cloud Soul, which is not very useful for them, but they are delaying the Cloud Soul from the enemy team, which is nice. I think they want to kind of switch up the lane assignments a bit. Maybe go look for that 1-3-1. I think their Nasus still doesn't have a mythic, which is really a shame, because that's really when he's going to be able to split push by himself pretty reliably.
Seems to be going for the Divine Sunderer, but has also opted into Magic Resist with Spectre Scowl, which is very much fair, as both top laner and jungler do magic damage to him.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a nice choice by him there.
Yeah, anyway, actually, to come back to the point I was making before the bot lane fight starts off, the Nasus actually does not want to hit the Malphite. If he does not hit the Malphite with only minions, then he will be able to sustain through the damage. Oh, that was a ward. That's oopsie. He tried to ward there, and he accidentally popped the Rift Herald. But yeah, what I was saying is that he will be able to use the minions to sustain through the damage that Mpache puts down onto him, and does not get his healing reduced by the Bramble Vest. Mpache, and here comes the ultimate. It's a nice and follow up immediately.
Yeah, but here they're jumping into a Lowry.
And that was a massive cast, but it's not going to lead enough, because again the healing reduction from Mpache coming in huge, and now he's not managing to stay through that out. In the top lane there's also fight. Darius actually managed to land the Apprehend, and that means that Sphinx is going to go down, but also goes down is Plastic Zaki. Now the fight continues. His top Haki as support does not really want to face off against the Darius, but Darius also decides not to face off against the set. So 2 for 0 in the bot lane, but 1 for 1 in the top lane.
Yeah, that was really close with the with Breaking Bard almost turning that around, but unfortunately just not quite enough. So Soundless Esports going to come out on top there with a very nicely played fight. Yeah. Just a really nice TP by the. Oh no, it wasn't the TP by Ambush. I thought he was. Oh no, never mind. He was just there. Yeah, he was just chilling there, and Pifu happened to also be there.
Oh, the fight. Here we go. Maybe they actually the slow lands onto Topaki. That means that he's going to get massively rooted and stunned. And the massive slam does to actually get away. It does. And now Raven just goes back in, picks up Wife, but is it going to be enough? No, because Seth honks back in and immediately dies. And that means that also Yasuo now falls. A little bit of a grief from the bot lane of Soundless Esports. As they give up 2 kills for one.
Yasuo 1-8 up in the meantime. He is pretty close to hitting that 110 power spike. Like that is 2.
Wow, I did not see him die that often. Wow.
Yeah, he really died a lot in that bot lane, but it's so hard for Yasuo to play into into a lane like this with the Lowy and Gragas, which is just really funny that such a lane works that well. And we see Monkey Fist 4 once again being so consistent every single game. 0 deaths once again at 23 minutes. That's pretty crazy.
Wait,
Breaking Bard, I don't think you want to do this.
Huh? Okay, I was gonna say Lucian is on the bad side of history, but it turns out that was Breaking Bard who was caught out on his own half of the map. We did see the Observer hover over the Muramana from Elawi. True, good catch, I did not see it.
Interesting.
Muramana. It's a lot of damage, honestly, and it does work a lot for even for mages, so definitely not the most horrible thing. Peaceful does not manage to smite away the red buff, but yeah. Oh boy, Wife is now maybe caught out a little bit. A crucial barrage comes through, there's a little bit of tickling damage, and just sends everybody away.
Interesting. the Muramana. I mean, sure, yeah. Yeah, why not? If you're going crazy, why not go for Muramana?
Yeah, exactly. Also, the Sage coming out is probably a Black Cleaver soon to be had.
That would be really smart.
Yeah, I like Black Cleaver because, of course, Empache is going to be building a lot of armor. Set's going to be building a lot of armor, so very efficient in that regard. Lucian also actually coming out with the armor penetration already. Last Whisper in his inventory.
Yeah, and what I would like to see by...
just managed to land the body slam, but is it going to be? No, I don't know. Yasuo might be gone. And he gets the cast! Massive cast! Sent Yasuo to his death. Now the fight continues without Yasuo. And bringing it into half.
They cannot engage onto them.
Yeah, that was very well played, honestly, by Wife, managing to get the body slam into the cast. Very much exactly the thing I said in Champs Select, right? He hit that stuff onto Yasuo and he will go down. And he proves his right. Now the unstoppable force comes down, but...
and the mob actually falls!
Wait, that was just evaporation. Does he even have tank stats? He just got deleted. Now Finks has to flash away over the tower.
He did.
Ultimately 3-4-0 in the DSM, and the dragon spawns with the second Cloud Drake going their way as well.
That's nice. That's nice. And I think that was the Muramana actually, with a couple of Lowy tentacles came down. It was also the Ezreal ult as well. It was just a bunch of Muramana procs at once.
Yeah, Muramana procs from every hit, and because Lowy did so many hits, it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it really does a lot of damage. So that's really funny. I never thought about even building out.
Wow, that's a lot of damage. Yeah. That dragon just to be fair, it's Cloud Drake, right? It dies the quickest, but wow, that was a lot of damage
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I want to see now from Team Smelly Men is they put the Nasus top, they put the Alawi bottom, and they kind of start pressuring middle. Maybe try to threaten Baron a bit, because if they get into that Baron pit, and Soundless Esports is not able to like run down a certain lane and grab an inhib or something, then they can just start doing Baron, and Soundless Esports have a very hard time walking into them, because it's so hard. Like every time you see Yasuo or Topaki trying to go into them, they just die, because you can't walk into Darius and Alawi. It's just it's just suicide.
They do need to be careful though, because if Malphite manages to hit a ultimate on the correct people, and Yasuo can follow that up with an ultimate himself, I think the team fight is going to be won for Soundless Esports. So at least Breaking Bard and Monkey Fist need to ensure that they don't both get hit by Malphite ults.
Sure,
so if that happens, they can, I think, always win the fight.
Yeah, what Alawi can do is she can time her ult in the moments that Malphite ults her, and then she won't get knocked up, because she's unstoppable for a little bit during her ulti.
That does mean, of course, that you rely on that movement, of the reaction speed, and if Malphite comes out of the bush, it might not always be easy to do. Actually, speaking of
very
Malphite,
hard.
I'm not sure you want to be there, but he has to flash away, and here comes the Alawi open, that's a lot of damage, here comes Togaki, goes down, and yeah, Malphite just kind of flashes.
Nice snipe from the Trusa barrage there. done by Cattails. I think that's the second time the True Shot Barrage picks up the Malphite in the end. So nicely done. That's a 2 for 0. I think they should look at Baron.
Yeah, I agree. Malphite getting called out there and Seth also falling for it. And honestly, that mistake has been coming through a couple of times now as another tentacle, actually another Festive Spirit comes through, sends Shyvana running. But yeah, that's some really impressive stuff and from TSM and some, yeah, honestly, a little bit of questionable play here and there from Soundless Esports. Again, of course, Soundless Esports. Oh, here comes Shyvana, the big breath.
It's a lot of damage.
And both Wife and Bard are going to go very, very low. Now, Bard actually managed to flash away from Rafuto's tornado. Now backing all the ward, but it's a fast recall, so it doesn't really matter now. Sphinx coming back into the game. But yeah, Baron going down for TSM is very good.
Faith, I spam. I like that, Guns Roses. Absolutely, we all have faith. I don't know in who you have faith in this case, but I have faith in both teams. I think this can still go either way. This is absolutely a crazy game.
Yep.
Once again, a lot of kills. Not as much as last game, but still a lot of kills. And now with the Baron buff on the side of TSM, they should be looking to get some turrets. They should be looking to do the split push move.
Yeah, that's, to be honest, a thing where TSM has been lacking this game in is the towers. They only took one bot lane tower, and that's it. And none of the other towers are, like, touched at all. Like, the top lane has taken a little bit of damage, but that's about it. For the rest, the only tower that has...
Ooh, Rafuto does not want to be matched up into Nasus, I believe, because 2 or 3 Qs are going to do it.
Yeah, and he gets slowed again, and that means he just has to run. And running, it means dashing, and dashing means getting away. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to save. No, it's not going to be enough to save him because he goes down. Now, Empashe in the top lane also caught out, and Beefaway decides to send down into the fight as well. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to escape with his life there. He has to flash away, but it's going to be...
A tentacle's going to appear!
Illaoi using the dash actually to close the gap, but it's not enough. So ultimately, across the map, 2 kills for 0 in favor of TSM, and the game is looking more and more like they could win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nasus is almost at 600 stacks apparently. That's quite crazy.
That's a significant amount.
He's been stacking up.
Hitting down on Rafuto right there.
Yeah, I think Yasuo's skull was probably crushed there. The Nasus Kane really doing a heavy number on Yasuo, but to be fair, the Yasuo was 1 in 9, now 1 in 10. Surprised to see with what kind of power spike he's going to come back into the game, and it is one of those notorious things that Yasuo does somehow miraculously can become stronger at 10 deaths.
Yeah.
Let's see, Smelly Man has the Baron buff.
Yeah, I gotta say his items are a little bit all over the place right now. He goes for some sustain, he goes for a healing reduction. Healing reduction, again, I get it, sure. Sustain, I mean, I get it, sure. But the fact that you also already have the Phantom Dancer and the Kraken Slayer means that you're not really going to be able to fit any Infinity yet into your build anymore, and it's going to be very long to get any items done in the coming time.
Nice chunk.
Having to flash away. Yeah.
Nice chunk here onto top Aki. That's good. It's gonna pretty much secure the dragon for them, I think, because once again they can't really go into them. So Team Smelly Men is sitting pretty there. They do need to be careful because, like I said before, if there is the option for Soundless to just run it down and grab an inhib, then that's pretty bad for Team Smelly Men. Because defending against inhib is pretty hard with no range wave clear. So let's see. I really hope that they can, for their sake, I hope that they can defend a turret. But this is really what Team Soundless needs to do. So really nice call by Soundless. Rafuto going in. He's 1 in 10 now. What's he going to be able to do with it? He's going to die.
He's going to die real hard. It was a very clean combo, not gonna lie, but he does not pick up the kill, even on Wife, on the support, and it ends up costing him his life. And top Haki running from the Darius. I'm not sure that's the thing you can actually do. Nope, the dunk comes down, and down goes the set.
And that's a legendary.
That's legendary. 11-0. Monkey Fist last game he was, I think, 9-2. This game 11-0, showing up to the series.
yeah.
Carry on the Astro, but this time Darius jungle paying off. Very well played from him.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Wow, the monkey Darius. Oh my gosh, and we gave him the tickets. We told him go Darius jungle, and I mean he's surpassing everybody's expectations at this point. 11-0, I can't believe it. Also breaking Bard with the 6-4-14 Illaoi, and this Nasus is just a ticking time bomb about to explode.
Yeah, kind of already exploding in the face of Yasuo just before. So
Yeah.
already like sitting on approximately 650 to 700 stacks, I believe. So it's going to be very increasingly hard, of course, with the infinite scaling control. Oh, Empache looking for the flank, but is it going to be himself who gets flanked upon? Maybe not. Actually, his wife flashing away, Breaking Bar taking his poke, but it is not enough to start anything crazy just yet. The Baron has worn out, so you're probably going to have to wait for about 1 minute 20 before the next real big fight comes through. Or you know what, Kabuto thinks, heck that, no, I'm gonna go in right now. And
he hasn't had enough of the grey screen, he's gonna see more of it! Oh no, he's not!
Oh no!
Oh, good counter engage by Patcher and the Yasuo!
Yeah, so actually does go down. Monkey Fist manages to walk out alive, but Ilaoi does not exactly those two targets that you mentioned before that should not be called out by a single Malphite did get called out, and you immediately see the punish. The tower in the mid lane looking to go down. In fact, Empache has had enough, walks up, takes it down. That's exactly also in top trouble. But
what a cask!
And this means that it's going to be cleanup crew for Darius. If he can go
it's still 2 for 2!
The upper hand actually manages to land, and Empache goes down. It's a 3-4-2 in favor of Team Smelly, but they lose the Inhib tower in the process.
What is even going on at this point? That is just insane.
At this point, I'm starting to hope this game ends soon because my throat is starting to give out.
Yeah. Oh man, that is incredible. It looked like Team Soundless Esports had a really good Malphite Yasuo combo there, but because they are just so tanky on the side of Team Smelly Men, because they chose to go for this bruiser comp, they did not die. Only one of them actually died in the initial engage. I'm not sure. I don't remember who that was. But a lot of them survived. They went back to base, healed up again, and then suddenly Soundless Esports couldn't do anything anymore. So really nice engage originally by Soundless Esports, but they did not have to drag it out the way they did.
And that ultimate from Ilaoi there was actually pretty big, because now Soundless Esports need to look for a fight right now. We're not going to have that dragon form available. Dragon's Descent does not get used very effectively, and it kind of opens up the window to at least a lot of vision around that Baron right now for TSM.
True, but it's still a big chunk out of Cattails, and she is going to recall because of it. So I think it's still a reasonable use. You can stack up the Fury pretty quickly if you're attacking jungle mobs. But right now he had to base, so he's not going to have the ult for a while.
Oh right, it doesn't of course have the fatigue. I thought it was like Gnar. Gnar's have fatigue on his mega form, but Shyvana does not, so can immediately start stacking that again. Breaking Bar trying to clear out some of the vision that Empache has placed in that Baron pit, but Empache is having none of it, trying to deny it as much as possible.
I just love everything that's going on here. It's the entire team of Team Smelly Men is just taunting them to come inside, just hanging around the Baron pit like, hey, come here. We know you want to fight, but you know they want them to fight where they are standing.
Oh, but Zakia is a little bit far forward. Has to flash away. I'm not sure if it's going to.
They should turn
away. Here comes the cask, actually blowing everybody from Team Smelly Men.
Ooh, what a big combo! But this is Ilaoi's moment.
Yeah, a massive ult coming through from everybody, but Ilaoi as well. And
Ilaoi
is still alive.
Ilaoi!
Pick up kill after kill. Breaking Bar is picking apart the entire backline from Soundless Esports, and this is looking like either Baron or Dragon Soul or both. We're gonna have to see how they play this. Massive fight.
Did you see that? Did you see that absolute destruction? The moment that they went into Ilaoi's ult range with 4 people and she had that E down, she just slammed that idol into the ground, and man, the entire team, like Tom is saying, that Gorkum is saying in the chat, they absolutely disappeared. They vanished from the face of the earth as soon as those Muramana triggers just stacked on top of each other to create the ultimate life form we all know as Ilaoi.
Yeah, so doing a lot of damage right there. And actually, you know what? The strongest members, right, from Team Smelly Men right now are Nasus, Darius, and Ilaoi. What is the single weakness that these 3 champions have? It's legs. And in fact, they just picked up the Cloud Soul, and that upgrades your own legs. So now not even legs can stop the enemy team from escaping you. And now blue team picking up the
They have the Baron Nashor.
Good snipe, and Empache seems to be in a little bit of trouble. Why?
They cannot come into them. It's impossible.
Tobaki also goes in, and that should beat his own death as well. Rakuto going actually. Tobaki goes, picks up the shoulder. There's a lot of damage gone, but is it going to be enough? I don't know, but it's actually going low. And then it's also a lot of damage to Shyvana, doing a lot of damage to everybody, but not enough to pick up the kills. And that's a Baron and 4 kills Tails for only 1. Very much in favor. The gold lead ascending to 7,000 so far. And
Team Smelly Men listened and Team Smelly Men conquered.
Yeah, the reason that the gold lead, by the way, is only 8,000, even though there's a 20 kill deficit, is of course because of a lot of towers still standing as well as a lot of farm disparity. If you look at, for example, the mid lane, there's a Flame Horizon there. Cattail's really lacking in that department, and that's why also she only has 3 items, so she is falling behind the game a little bit, even though the rest of her team is doing amazingly well.
Soundless Esports are going to have to pull off a miracle if they want to do this one. They have to play to their range. They have to somehow keep at a distance, but it's so hard to do when you have Malphite and Yasuo and Seth who are just crying out in pain when they are trying to stay at a distance. And we get a quick hover on the Nasa stacks there. 837. That's going to do a pretty big number if he gets in range.
Yasuo just came out of base. Look at his health bar. That's not really nice for him.
Oh, man. Man.
Oh, Darius as well with the Dead Man's Blade. He is going to be running fast. And it's going to be hard to get away from. Oh, wife does not actually want to go in there. But he did see Yasuo. Had the opportunity. Now breaking bar, walking forward, using the movement speed that he got. And he managed to get the Test of Spirit. That means that Tobaki is already going to go down. And takes a lot of damage. Decides to hold on to the face breaker. But it's not going to be enough. And he goes down. What?
He's going to fall now. There's only 4 people left to defend this base against a Baron buffed up team of 4 big tanky boys and girls and an Ezreal that's going to be whittling away at the turrets. I don't know what they can do. And Rafa
breaker onto the Yasuo. Yasuo is going to go down the side. Always strong with speed. He has a really big legs. Also, the rest of the team is just going to go anyway.
He's going to clean it up.
How many kills did he actually get?
And it's over, Peppy. I believe that this is a victory for Team Smelly Men. Woo! What a ride! What an absolute roller coaster that was.
That was.
Oh man! Congratulations to Team Smelly Men. They did end up evening out the series 1-1, and in that game they definitely deserved to get that victory. Also, Soundless Esports, immaculate play in that first game, did really well, but in the second game, all the odds were stacked against them. Team Smelly Men had literally assembled Exodia.
Yeah.
And so there was nothing that they could do.
And you know what? Ultimately, Jungle Darius, ending the game 17-0-13. Perfect KDA, 30 kill participation out of the 41. I'm going to take credit for that pick, by the way. My idea. But yeah, Monkey Fist had an amazing game. Also in game 1, did really well. And manages to just put the team on his back, together with Alawi, and together with Plessizaki a little bit. And just kind of and actually, and everybody from...
Everybody did well.
Yeah, did very well. I shot my way, had a very impressive game against Yasuo. Really was effective at shutting down Ravato at every corner he seemed to turn. Ravato did a thing, but no. Wife just plummeting him down and just did not get any work down. Very well done by TSM, tying up the series and leaving us with a 1-1.
How did this happen? This was so beautiful. I mean, this entire set was just amazing. Yeah. I loved watching this. This is, I mean, honestly, one of the favorite League of Legends sets I've ever watched or cast in history. Man, that was absolutely crazy. Thank you to both the teams for providing us with this amazing material to watch and cast, because it was just a joy.
Yeah, very much so. Now that leaves the group stage completely done. Head over to Esports Delft.nl. Hello, Esports is not for us. I'm sorry, that's MSI. Now, Esports Delft.nl and head over to events and then the plat minus bracket to see the results. They are actually visible on stream, I hear. You can see that the Revenant Rebellion has not dropped a single game, going 6-0-0 with a score of 18 in this group stage. NLA Adopted Apes heading over to second place, 13 points out of 18. Soundless Esports now, this is the third time they drew their game. So 1-1, heading over to the third place with 9 points. DSEA pretty in pink, actually being the cutoff, managing to get the fourth place, and those four teams will be heading over to the next stage, knockout stage. Then you have Soundless Fishers, the other Soundless Esports team, just not making the cut. Also, of course, a team full of deaf people. Very awesome, actually, that they are willing to participate in our tournament. I wish them the best of luck in any further efforts that they continue. And of course, Soundless Esports still here to be seen in the semifinals and maybe even in the finals. So let's hope we get to see a lot more of them. DSEA, our own DSEA, Yelly Shelly, ending 1-1-4, actually tying with Team Smelly Man. So ultimately, that means that we have a shared 6th place, honorable, because they also, I think, did they tie against each other? I'm not sure what the head-to-head is. Hang on, let me quickly see.
No.
The Yelly Shelly is... Oh, no, actually, Yelly Shelly seems to have won the game against TSM. So Yelly Shelly taking 6th place and Team Smelly Man only 7th place. But with some extremely entertaining games, specifically those ones that we got to cast. So,
Yeah.
That's the result of this group stage. We'll be heading into the knockout stage next week, so be sure to tune in. I think we'll be splitting the tournaments then in the afternoon. On each Saturday, we'll be able to see the plat minus bracket, and in the evening at 8 p.m. we'll be able to see the plat plus bracket again. So be sure to come back by then. For now, I think we're going to be rounding off the stream. Quinn, do you have any closing words here for the
I just want to quickly congratulate all the 4 teams that have made it to the semifinals. I know that for some teams it was really close, so really great, especially for Team Pink. They were also kind of like really praying that they would make it through. So I'm very happy for those guys, and I also think it's really cool that even the last 2 teams got a win and a tie. So it ended up being a really close group stage, which is just absolutely amazing to see. I'm very happy that we ended up splitting it in plat minus and plat plus, and I think we will have even more great games to watch in the semifinals and the finals, even though I will really be missing Team Smelly Men. Team Smelly Men, please come back someday.
Who knows? But for now, we're going to be rounding off the stream. Thank you so much for all the teams, all the 16 teams that enrolled into our, actually 17 teams, my apologies, that have enrolled into our tournament this year. It has been absolutely amazing to see you all play in the group stage. We'll be heading over to the knockout stage next week, as I already mentioned. So be sure to tune back in then and cheer on your favorite team. For now, we'll be signing off. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night.